What's going on, guys? It is a beautiful Sunday. I spent all day yesterday at US Street Nationals at Bradenton, and it was such a freaking awesome event. I highly recommend trying to go to that event next year. It's just so much fun. Spent all day watching the pro mods and stuff. I didn't film any of it because I was just enjoying the moment, and I don't really film cars that aren't mine. I'm not huge on that. I do sometimes when it's like helping out a buddy or something, but for the most part you won't see me filming other cars because that's not what I do around here. But today we are going to finally finalize the garden setup here. I got some dirt from Tractor Supply, and I'm going to finally finish putting all the dirt into my planters here. This one's got a bunch of ashes on the bottom of it and some miscellaneous branches and stuff and all kind of stuff that it's fine to have at the bottom of the garden. This one is just soil, that one's just soil, but I'm going to fill up this one and that one today. That one will be the last to be filled up. Let's get to work.
Planting has begun.
Yep.
First one is planted.
Tomatoes are kind of struggling.
Oh.
But I think they'll come back around.
So I wrote a little tomato stick. Are we gonna do them like this way or long ways? What do you think? This way. Okay, I was thinking that too. Tomato stick. You're wet, Millie.
Millie.
You are. No, drop it. You went in the pool, huh? Did you? And that they're in. Whenever it's Sunday, they're getting baths today. We're letting them live their best lives.
Yeah, today is bath day anyways. All right, Bronte's doing some planting. What you got there? Cucumbers?
Cucumbers.
Nice, nice. We have a lot of stuff. It's all looking pretty sad though.
No, but I feel like they'll thrive better once they're like out here.
I mean, the goal is at least like
the broccoli. 40
or 50% of them to survive.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Definitely not expecting a whole insane garden.
I put some asparagus in here, but unfortunately with asparagus, you don't harvest it the first year.
What do you mean?
You have to wait until year 2 of it growing.
Why?
It's just how it is. But, you know, you gotta plan ahead. Jess loves the water and loves getting sprayed with the hose, but every activity, she just looks sad. Everything you do at Jess, she looks sad. Like, look at her. Poor dog. You should be on one of those commercials. Like, I don't understand you. You live a great life. Henry's out there chilling, cruising around. He came out of his house because he heard us all out doing stuff, so he came to join us.
He literally was in his house and
he was sleeping, yeah,
all day and heard us hanging out. He was having FOMO.
Yep.
All right, wait.
Millie already got her bath. Luna, not interested in a bath. She does not want one, but she is a very stinky little white raccoon.
Alright, dry her off.
Alright, I gotta pick up Jess and dry her off.
Somebody film you drying her?
No, it's okay. Alright, back to the Talon. Parts are in. Got these from the local dealership. Just 2 injectors. Went with 2 because if I'm in there, I might as well replace both. Because these injectors are $30 a piece, which I guess may be completely normal if you're a side-by-side guy, but to me, being a car guy and having $3,000 set of injectors in the Camaro versus a $60 set, that feels like a freaking steal of a deal. So I just got 2 extras. I just got 2 new ones, and then if the one is still good, I'll just kind of shelf it as a backup. But I know that cylinder 1, cylinder 2, whatever this one is having a misfire. It's intermittent depending on how much RPM I'm giving it, so that to me means that fuel delivery is the issue, because if I'm giving it a lot of RPM, it is firing pretty good, but when I'm just idling, it's not firing, so it seems a little clogged up to me. I did swap the coils and the plug wires, and it was still the same cylinder, so I figured I would just go to the next thing, and that is injectors. And this machine deserves some replacement parts instead of just, you know, kind of screwing around. So I figured I'd just put some new ones in, call it a day. It's earned it, and then we'll go from there. We'll get to see how that air intake filter is looking too. They're pretty easy to pull out. You just do 900 clips. It's a little dirty, but not crazy. This is an aftermarket one, so it is cleanable, I believe. I can service it. These look like they've been very wet at one point, which is kind of weird. I don't know what the deal is with that, but this whole intake box is coming off, which just looks like a couple of bolts there. Shouldn't be too bad to take it off and then undo 2 clamps down there. I'll probably just clean out all this, service it. This is like mildew on here, which is really weird. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely had some standing water in there a little bit, but that's to be expected on this machine that has soaked up water. So take this all apart, clean everything out, put it back together, put the new injectors in, and it should be running a lot better. I'm just gonna consider 2 injectors part of the tune-up on this thing because it's extremely cheap to do. Well, right down there where it's nice and low was soaking wet and covered in dirt, so that was definitely not helping my case at all. That's kind of the off-road life, I guess. A little bit of dirt, a little bit of mud, a bit of cow manure. Mostly cow manure. All right, the intake box is out right here. Crazy, it actually brackets to the exhaust heat shielding, and then it's got these drains in it, and this is the intake, this is to the throttle bodies, dual throttle body, air intake sensor, another drain right here. That's actually the PCV right there. Very simple. This 2-cylinder stuff is really nice. I can get used to this. Here are the 2 injectors, so it's just this quick disconnect, the old don't break it type of disconnect, because I am really bad about breaking stuff like that. Here's the old injector that I'm pretty confident is bad. It's got to be clogged up or something. That top clear piece, can kind of see some debris in there. Here is the new injector. Brand new OEM, nice and clean, fresh O-rings. And then they got this crazy piece that the injector goes in and then it clicks into the fuel rail. It's a very weird fuel rail because there's only, 2 injectors on it. Weird. Maybe I'm just not used to 2-cylinder stuff and side-by-side stuff and OEM Honda stuff. I don't know. It's weird to me, this little plastic piece, which is also scary because it seems fragile. So, put it back together. I may just try to start it like this, it'll probably be fine. See what it does, see if it's still misfiring, and then I can go from there. So I took the valve cover off to see if anything weird was going on underneath it. The cam looks fine, the rocker arms look fine, the springs are fine, there's no wobbles or anything bent. Visually it all looks good, all the roller bearings are good. Everything seems okay. The chain is fine. Like, nothing is visually wrong here. I know that you're supposed to readjust the lash on these at some point, but that shouldn't be causing the misfire issue. That's more of just like a hard start issue. So the problem is still deeper than this, which is weird because it's not coils, it's not coil wiring, it might be injector wiring. That injector just does not want to fire. It seems like that injector just does not want to fire at idle, but wide open throttle and like anything over like 30% throttle it starts to fire, so it gives you this like jerky feel. So I'm really considering that it's something to do with injector wiring at this point, but I'm gonna try to track it down, see if that is our issue. Just keep digging here. Eventually we will find something. diagnosing. I definitely hate throwing parts at stuff, but sometimes you gotta do that, especially when it's just a $30 injector. So the weather was getting a little questionable. Looked like it was gonna rain, so I relocated the Talon into the other bay. Got my light over here plugged in, and I'm gonna keep diagnosing it. Figured I'd bring it inside too, just in case it is not finished today. I'd rather not have to put it all back together just so it's waterproof to park it outside. So figure pull it inside and keep tearing into it. Man, I'm still kind of stuck on what could be the problem next. I mean, I guess maybe the throttle body could be an issue. See if it's opening. That's kind of my next move. So just kind of keep plugging away, working the problem. All right, stepping back from the Talon a little bit, waiting on a couple things to come in so I can finish that up. I wanted to tear into this guy a little bit. They call this a rocket stove, and I've always wanted to make one because they always seem really cool to me. You feed like wood in here, burn it, and it sucks in air there, and it's got a chimney out here. They stand up straight, and I've wanted to make one. It's kind of like one of those like learn how to weld deals, and this one just kind of always seemed cool to me. So I'm gonna throw this together real quick. I cut up this really stout metal, definitely overkill, but I wanted this thing to be heavy duty and large, like you can fit your whole hand in there. I wanted it to be able to take in some wood and be able to burn some wood pretty quickly, but I really wanted to make one of these, maybe for those cold nights at the track I can bring it out or something, or when we go off-roading, side-by-siding, you know, after riding for a little while, we can cook something on it. I don't know, I just wanted to make one, so I'm gonna throw this together real quick. There are some big gaps here that I need to fill up. It's obviously not pushed together all the way, but there are some big gaps. I could hit it with the grinding wheel for a little while and clean it up, but I'm just gonna try to fill the gaps because I kind of want to struggle with that a little bit. I'm gonna use a good amount of rod and see what we can make out of this. So, time to start welding. Let's fire up the Feronius. Well, the welding has started. I got this spot pretty done. That was a big gap too, so. Oh, look, 2 dogs came to join me. You guys don't know anything about welding. Listening to some talk radio, 102.5. Hey, give me that. Well, it's done, all welded up, and now time to try it. This wood might be a little wet. Oh man, it's already coming out the chimney. Look at that. Warm too. Man, it's already warm. Like I said, this wood is pretty wet. Need some actual dry sticks, would help a lot. And I think if you put a leaf blower in there in the bottom, helps a lot too. All right, next up on my things I'm gonna try to do. The Camaro needs a burn down tank, or burn down, whatever you wanna call it. Because the catch can under the hood is just tiny, not enough. There's not really much room under the hood. I wanna move things out from the engine bay and into different places on the car. Oil like that really just does not have a need to be in the engine bay. I don't like it in the engine bay, so it's going to be not in the engine bay anymore. So I'm doing some CAD, cardboard aided design. I'm trying to make a little tank that's gonna go right here for the new catch can. It's gonna be much bigger. It's gonna drain on the bottom, and then it's gonna have a vent that vents outside of the car, maybe right here or on the side. I'll drill a hole or something. I thought about using this, but really probably not the best idea, honestly. So I ordered everything to make this little aluminum tank that's gonna go back here. It's gonna have 2-8 lines going to it, which will be plenty for this motor and motors in the foreseeable future. So I'm gonna make that. Have to cut up some aluminum, weld up a little box. I've never done anything like this, but I'm gonna try. And then I have to figure out where I wanna vent it. So I may vent it like right over here would be cool. I have to see once everything comes what the vent looks like. But regardless, the tank is gonna be right here. I know a lot of you guys are gonna say it shouldn't be in the cabin, but all of the stuff is gonna be vented out of the cabin, and I may even try to make a block off plate or something, kind of like how the fuel cell has this box. But that's how it's gonna sit, something along these lines. I could probably make it a little bigger, but this size is easy to get in and out, and this is already pretty big. It could fit probably 3 quarts of oil, so if the engine does blow up and wants to vacate all of its oil, it could hold a good amount of it, and the lines would probably hold a lot too. But if the engine blows up, it's probably not gonna all vacate into here. As much as I would like that to happen, it's unlikely. But then the side benefit is it will empty here, so it will be way behind the tires, so it'll be a good benefit. All right, I made my little aluminum box here. I tacked it up and started to play around with aluminum welding a little bit. Very poorly, but I'll get it by the end of this, hopefully. And it's gonna go right in there. Fits like a dream. I'm gonna have to make some brackets that go off of it to hold it into place. And then the rest of my fittings and stuff come in this week. So hopefully we can have that in before Streetcar Takeover. Don't look at it too closely. I'm just starting. But that'll do it for this video, guys. This is a Monday work video for sure. But it's kind of prepping for the rest of the week because we're gonna be racing this weekend. And the Camaro needs to be dialed in. I'm gonna try to test it, get that all figured out. There is actually something going to be happening on the 240. Maybe, no promises. That car kind of is just the back burner project. The Talon next door will be finished tomorrow, hopefully. I'm waiting on some parts, we'll see. Gotta make sure everything's good to go before I put it back together, because taking it apart is a pain in the butt. But that'll do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. It was a kind of all over the place one, but we'll be back this week with 2 more videos. See you next time. Keep it saucy.